So this has to do with that. If I were an undocumented citizen, an illegal immigrant today, this poem may not exist. An undercurrent of fear lines every breath. For some, in fear of ICE raids or being interned in a camp is only the beginning. But what of the smell of homemade tortillas, the flour and margarine, the warmth of the oven in the holidays, cuando se juntaban en mi casa? Yo, chico, viéndolos a mis tíos, tías, y primos. Mom would slather a ham with pineapple before setting it in the oven. When my cousins visited from Mexico, we'd stay up all night watching movies, playing La Bruja, contando historias de miedo, while the adults watched their own movies, abajo. If I were an undocumented citizen, an illegal immigrant today, there'd be murders of my memories. Like children born with a terminal disease, tainted del inicio. There'd be no tortillas, no flour, no margarine. There'd be no warmth of oven, holidays, ni juntas. There'd be no smiling uncles, aunts, and cousins. There'd be no sight of altruism. There'd be no late nights with the television buzzing or brujeria summoning the moon. There'd be no scary stories to remind us that we're safe, because we'd be busy as principals in border horror tales. There'd be no abajo, because we'd already be there. If I were an undocumented citizen, an illegal immigrant today, there'd be murder of myself. Loving oneself is often lost on others' dreaded paths, and loving oneself depends on holding on to mother's hand. Losing that grip from mom and dad and thought of as inhuman is setting up our own to be outcast and forgotten. A sign of human ineptitude? Maybe. Or a sign of megalomania and groupthink? But I'll sing and write for you. Otherwise, who else will? All our murdered memories doesn't come without costs, but I implore you to recall memories built with family aren't all for naught. If I were an undocumented citizen, an illegal immigrant today, this poem may not exist. There'd be murders of my memories. There'd be murder of myself. This next poem is a sonnet that was written when I was hanging out with my wife in our backyard. Lift green lighters up to sacred pines and sing along to guitar, bass, and drums. The timber rattles up your fragile spine, hum, numbing a tinge you cannot fathom. Lampredi elucidates dim landscapes as each seeks out their purpose and partner. Some plotted and attempted to escape, but realized light depends on their lover. Night dissipates into cauldron lampshades and drinks moon wine dripping down dream envy mountains. Day distillates into molten marriage and turns a nothing love colored thousands. My love for you burns bright among the night, fit for fireflies who stay and fight. And this is the last one. I have, for a long time, I've written songs, and it's always been a struggle for me to write about sex. And so I tried to, and what actually came about it was a little bit of exploration about my wife's PTSD. It's called Toe to Toe with Testicles and Nipples. Exhale. My chest expands, endorphin entranced, blood streams to my testicles, phallic-effacing fallacies, prophesying impending climaxes. Awareness awakens through every pore and cell. Touch is embattled with sex and expectations. Fast moves finger, smooths over back, below, that steady quickening breath, a moan, an incantation, the unexpected guest. From a toe visiting a toe. A childhood scene, a real nightmare, not a dream. Her past creeps between the sheets. It's hard not to ignore, in the middle of a passion, a ripple from before. But not a smooth one. This ripple is filled with jagged edges, long void of any circles or ellipses, but littered with someone else's sopping, tainting my love's kaleidoscoping. She cries while I gently kiss her malaise. I lift my head and ask her if she's okay. She asks moons if stars were meant for bed. I told her, I'm faithful, we'll find a way through to the end. She asks, how do you know? Well, how can one know? I've never been this person, this age, in this situation before, in this place and time, and I believe in I can. I choose it every day, every moment, and even during every conflict. To us, I'm always ascribed. But you are always suspect. I know, but all I can do is be me, and all you can do is be you. And after that, it's faith and trust. I love you, a good night, a poem, and a kiss. What normally seems so simple was going toe-to-toe with testicles.